Are you a parent that's struggling to find the right balance between being firm and loving with your children? Do you sometimes lose your temper when disciplining them, only to feel guilty afterward? Today, I want to share a story that could transform how you approach parenting forever. What if I told you that one mother's gentle discipline was so powerful, it helped create a saint? The Miracles and Prophecies of Saint John Bosco, a project of America Needs Fatima. I'm your host, Adrian Fonseca. Subscribe for new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Welcome to the Miracles and Prophecies of Saint John Bosco. I'm Adrian Fonseca. These videos exist to share timeless wisdom from Saint John Bosco that can transform your spiritual life and inspire you to grow closer to Christ and Our Lady. Today, parenting feels more and more challenging than ever before. The good news is that Mama Margaret's story offers you a proven method. Today's story is about giving you practical wisdom that you can use in your home today. Here's the one powerful truth we'll discover together. A mother's loving smile is more transformative than any harsh word or punishment ever could be. As you watch the story unfold, ask yourself, when was the last time that your child saw genuine joy and love in your face during a moment of correction? Every parent faces this challenge. How do you discipline your child without breaking their spirit? Mama Margaret discovered something that most parents never realize. The secret isn't in your words or your consequences. It's in your face. Here's what's remarkable. As a child, little John absorbed every word and action from his mother, turning them over in his astute young mind. He had no idea that someday, this system of loving discipline would become the foundation for his own work with thousands of young people. Just look at the similarities between the mother and son. For example, the spirit of charity and the zeal for their mission, the desire to instill the habit of reading good books, the very sweet methods they use to get children's attention, their continual vigilance, always watching out for the children's spiritual welfare, their love of spending as much time as possible with their children, the patience required to listen to every word the children said, and that thoughtful and prudent questioning with which they ask those in their care for an account of their conduct. If you're a parent watching this, you might want to share this video with some other parents in your life. Hit that share button now and help spread Mama Margaret's wisdom. Let me paint a picture for you of what made this mother so extraordinary. Mama Margaret was never the type of mother to raise her voice, or to frighten her children, or become irritated when correcting their behavior. Instead, she used all her self-discipline to remain calm, pleasant, and even-tempered. Her children later said something remarkable about her. They never once saw frown lines on her forehead. Can you imagine that? Even during discipline, her face radiated peace. Now, don't mistake Mama Margaret's gentleness for weakness. Her children understood perfectly that if they continued to misbehave after a warning, she would follow through with consequences. She never relinquished her punitive power. She kept a rod in the corner of the room as a silent reminder of her authority. But here's what's amazing. She never actually used it. She never even raised her voice to scold them. How is this possible? Well, let me show you through a story from John's childhood. Picture this. 4-year-old John is returning from a walk with his older brother Joseph on a blazing hot Italian day. Both boys are desperately thirsty. When they reach their home, their mother brings them water, giving Joseph the first drink. John notices that his mother is serving his older brother first, and his little face scrunches up with annoyance. When Mama Margaret offers him his water, John raises his hand defiantly. He doesn't want it now. Now, what would most parents do in this moment? Probably lecture the child about being grateful, right? Or maybe force him to take the water anyway. Not Mama Margaret. Without a single word, she simply put the water away. John stood there for a moment, and then shyly said, "Mom?" "Well?" In a meek voice, he asked, "Will you give me some water too?" Mama Margaret casually replied, "I thought you were not thirsty." "Mom, please forgive me," John whispered. And then, here's the key moment. Mama Margaret smiled. "Ah, that's good," she said warmly, handing the water to her thirsty son. Now, if you agree with Mama Margaret's parenting methods, be sure to leave this video a like. But John wasn't always so easily corrected. Sometimes his fiery temperament got the better of him, just like any child. When this happened, Mama Margaret would call him over. "John, do you see that rod?" she'd ask, pointing to the stick in the corner of the room. "Yes, I can see it," John would reply, stepping back nervously. "So please pick it up and bring it to me." John would hesitate, looking into his mother's eyes. "What do you want to do with it?" Mama Margaret calmly replied, "Bring it to me, and I will show you what I will do with it." And here's what happened next. And this will absolutely amaze you. Well, at least it amazed me. John would pick up the rod, hand it to his mother, and say, "Ah, you want to use it on my shoulders. And why not? I deserve it." Then with a big smile, he concluded, "Well, Mother, I won't disobey you anymore." His mother's smile indicated that he needed to be more careful next time. Mama Margaret used this same approach with her other son, Joseph. When he would throw what we'd call a complete meltdown, kicking, screaming, thrashing on the floor, Mama Margaret had a unique response. While he lay on the floor, kicking, struggling, and shrieking, Mama Margaret simply took him by one hand. She remained calm and resolute, holding on to him and saying, "It's no use. Look, I won't let you go. We can stay here all day. It's your turn to give in." If Joseph continued his tantrum, she'd make him think, "Can't you see that I am stronger than you? Rest assured, you will not overcome me. Consider that if you choose to play the villain, the Lord will seize you to bring you before his tribunal. How will you escape from him?" Eventually, Joseph would realize his efforts were getting him nowhere. He'd look up at his mother's face, which always showed goodness and cheerfulness, and he'd smile. A warm smile would blossom on Margaret's lips, and peace was restored. What Mama Margaret understood, and what transformed her home, was that children don't need perfect parents. They need parents who can remain peaceful in the storm, who can offer love even during correction, and whose faces radiate the security of unconditional love. This was the foundation that would later become Saint John Bosco's famous Preventive System, the gentle, loving approach that he used to guide thousands of young people to holiness. Now, how can you help spread this message of hope to families everywhere? It's quite simple, really. Share this video. Seriously, right now, hit the share button. Think about the parents in your life, your own mother, your brothers and sisters, your friends who are struggling with parenting challenges, even your own grown sons and daughters who are raising their own children. This story could be exactly what they need to hear today. Don't just keep this wisdom to yourself. Mama Margaret's approach worked then, and it works now. But it only helps families when it's shared. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We share stories like this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Timeless wisdom from Saint John Bosco that you can apply in your own life today. Mama Margaret's story teaches us that the most powerful tool in parenting isn't your voice, your roles, or even your consequences. It's your face. When your child sees peace instead of anger in your eyes, love instead of frustration in your expression, and joy instead of irritation in your smile, that's when real transformation happens. That's when discipline becomes formation and correction becomes connection. Remember, whether you're raising toddlers or teenagers, the principle remains the same. Your peaceful presence and loving smile have more power to change hearts than any harsh words ever could. And here's my question for you. I'd love to see your response in the comments. What's one thing that you can change about your own response the next time your child needs correction? How can you let your face show love, even in difficult moments? Parents, grandparents, teachers, share your thoughts below. Your wisdom could encourage another parent who's struggling today. Speaking of incredible stories about Mama Margaret, there's something else that you absolutely need to know about her faith and sacrifice. Click on the video appearing on your screen right now. Why Saint John Bosco's mother turned down wealth and security. You'll discover why this remarkable woman chose poverty over riches. Thank you for joining me today. Saint John Bosco, pray for us. Mama Margaret, pray for us. May God bless you, and Mary Immaculate keep you under her mantle. God love you.